Like I say, I can personally attest and tell you matter-of-factly being who I am. In cases like Halifax and other places, my Irish people were willing to die for me. And they did do such heroic things above and beyond their more normal duties. Like I said, many groups earn their place as basically being willing to die for the greater good or people, or me, or with me. That's one of the things about my life forms. They're willing to die with me. And sometimes even die for me. Not that I wanted them to. It's easy to send someone to his death. It's harder to say, well, you're going to make it. Even if I don't. Unfortunately, like I said, anyway. Like I say though, I always came through on my promises. If I promised that someone's family would get paid and get money, they would get money and they would get paid. So, anyway, everything that Lucifer Star is, me. So, anyway, yeah. Hundreds of years of being right. And many epic ships. I say I love the Irish people. I love my Germans, scientists, and my Americans, I guess. And the Mexicans. I had many people, I guess. You know, but... And the gypsies. I said people should leave the Middle East alone. They, or the Middle East should just, you know, respect women, you know, you should have a home and a place to live. Anyway. Honestly, like I say, although I did invent diesel engines and did have them and stuff, I invested heavily in steam power. I sunk money. A lot of people thought I was going to go bankrupt or broke because I was investing so much money into steam power. Like even when diesel engines, like I said, when diesel engines first came out, like I liked them and we had them. You know, I invented diesel engines and the diesel injector. But for some reason, I just felt that steam was better. That steam was the more efficient or at least more affordable option. You know, because I thought that there was more coal, and I thought there was more capacity, or at least it would be more economical to go with a steamship than it would be to go with a diesel-powered ship. I didn't feel the technology was quite there for true diesel power or whatever. So anyway, while I had researchers and research on it, I didn't really invest. I didn't spend a lot of money to build big diesel engines. I didn't jump, you know, into it. You know, I jumped into or was going with steam power because, like I say, I rationalized it and I thought, well, there's more capacity. You have more fuel options with diesel power. I mean with steam power. You have more fuel options with steam power because you can burn wood, you can burn oil, you can burn coal, you can burn all kinds of different things. So I thought that steam power was the way to go. So that's why I built most of my ships steam. And I didn't really do diesel ships. Other people were doing diesel engines and blah 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 blah. But I really, you know, I was having it researched and I was spending money on it and stuff like that. But I wasn't really investing. You know, I wasn't having anything built. So anyway, that's why all the big steamships and all the other stuff and why everything was built steam power, because, you know, I just felt it was a way to go. So anyway, I don't know. You know, personal preference, my preference, I went with steam. You know, and hydropower. You know, like I said, I could have gone nuclear and all that other stuff, but like I said, and I did do some nuclear, like I say. You know, there were those 4 ferries and there was a cruise ship and all that other stuff, but I really wasn't really, you know, I didn't think it was necessary, even though everyone was like, well, there's not enough coal, there's not enough fuel, blah, 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 blah. Everyone was always saying, like, I think that was one of the things about Germany, or one of the wars, or was they were saying there's not enough resources for all of us, we're gonna have to take resources. And I was the one saying, what are you talking about? There's plenty of resources. I doubt there's an end to fuel. We'll just have to be more efficient. But like I say, a lot of these words of we'll have to take the resources, I think were coming from probably Richard Nixon, or like you have to ask and see, because, you know, I believe it was the Republicans, and I believe that's why Rodney and a lot of other people were saying that all the Republican Party or other people originally were saying that there's not enough resources, we'll have to blah blah blah, but that's because they had nothing. You know, like I say, John McCain was poor. He was a no one. He still is a no one. You know, Jimmy Carter was poor, a no one. Like all these people, they would like I say, LS Lucifer Star. You could track back my Irish people, or my Germans, or my other people back hundreds of thousands of years. Like I tell people, I said, if you don't have a family tree that goes back at least 10 generations, or 20 generations, or 30 generations, then there's something wrong. Because all my people, all my Lucifer White Star Line people, all my employees, you know, you could go back 50 generations in the family tree. It's like, yeah. And then my family went to Ireland, and then from Ireland we went to Australia, and then from Australia we went to whatever. And that, you know, those were my work projects, actually. I would be asked them to move around. So like I say, but Jimmy Carter, who's that? The Carter really is what they built carts? Like, I mean, anyway, that's what got Nixon. Nixon was like blah 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 blah, and like I said, I was like, where's his family tree? Investigate him. Like every president got investigated, by the way. The standard procedure. So even me, like I said, you could research me, Lucifer Star Line. Look me up. Like I said, go ahead and look me up. Lucifer Starline. I know American name Brian Nathaniel Alexander Briley. But even that, you see the Great Alexander, or like I said in Ireland, Thomas O'Reilly, you know, and Briley this and Briley that, and the Britannic. So you can, you know, a lot of people made sure that I'd be well known, regardless, as more than just a Brian. So anyway, so like I say, look me up. LS. Lucifer Star. So, anyway. Feel free to look up my history. Feel free to ask other life forms in the universe about me. You'll find out. Or Lucifer White Star Line. I also own the Red Star Line and other companies. What happened, like I said, is that they just assumed I was dead at some point. Nope. By the way, like I say, Ireland, I love you. Thomas O'Brien. Yeah, you're awesome. Thomas O'Brien was quite a man, by the way. I'm pretty sure he might have been running my LS shipyard for me. And he did so with great honor and great respect, and he was the best Irishman on the yard. And he made sure that the people got fed and the people got clothed, and he made sure he ran that yard just as perfectly as the German had done before him. Like I say, if anyone ever calls an Irishman anything, like I say, the Irish people are not terrorists. They are not whatever. They are the greatest and they built cities and roads in many countries and had some very good and very epic mining operations. They were my crew, they were my people, they're steel workers, and they were the best men that I ever served with or worked with or had in my employment. So, like I said, I'm Lucifer Star, despite what they say. So anyway, like I said, you can look to the photographs, you can look to the pictures. It's a long history and some greatest ships. We had German scientists and Irish workers and later on other workers. I think India did clothing. The whole world was taking part in this epic existence that we now share or have. Even, and by the way, like I said, the Middle Easterns and the Gypsies, they were salesmen and traders for me, I believe, and they did a very, very good job of it. Anyway, like I said, me and this world, this whole universe had a thing going, and like I say, I thank every man, woman, child, and life form that ever played a part in my existence. So, anyway, yep. So just to fill in the gaps, I make these messages so you can know, you the little children's, the humies, the new humies don't really understand, do they? Nope, they don't. So, okay. And when you see a star, it stands for LS, Lucifer Star. If you see a star badge or a star on someone's shirt or a star on a ship, what that's meant in the old days was Lucifer Star. So, anyway. I think that ship was built in the 1960s. When JFK, Jimmy Carter, and Richard Nixon and John McCain were living and dying on the decks of Hanami, Hanami. One of my ships or something like that. I think they might have been busboys or something like that. I don't know. A bunch of shit people. Just proving that you can get yourself eternally tortured with a gun. I don't know. Like I say, I'm 99 trillion years old. What do I care? Oh well. Can you believe they actually thought they could kill me? They actually thought they could kill me. Amazing.